Hello everyone, welcome back to Skyscraper Games. I'm at the skyscrapergames.com website in the editor, and this is Quick Start Lesson 5. So if you didn't do 1 through 4, go back and do them now, or at least load the file from Lesson 4 into the editor. So when I run what I have so far, I get my blue dot on my skyscraper. I can use my W, A, S, and D keys to move this pixel or this player character around, which is all pretty cool, and it's good to be able to do that, but the name of this is Skyscraper Games. I don't really have a game yet, so what I want to do is add a little game to this. And what I'm going to make is just a real simple game where I have a computer pixel that chases the player around, and ultimately, when the computer pixel catches the player, then the game will be over. But for now, I'm just going to add that computer pixel and some of the logic that will make it chase this player. So to do that, I need to add some more engine variables. So these are the variables for my chaser pixel, which is also the computer pixel. All right. So I'm going to call this CPU for computer X, and I'm going to make that equal to 0. CPU Y equals 0. So those are just the coordinates for where this pixel will start. It's going to start up in the top left. And then CPU red, I'm going to make this chaser red so that it is different from the player pixel. So the red, green, and blue values are going to be a little bit different. And now we've got some code here for what happens when the player presses a key. What I want to put here is a little code for this chaser pixel, or the computer player. So make sure I'm over so that I'm not under one of my other blocks of code. I want to be under in the update self function itself. So right cursor should be right above pass. If you need to backspace to get back to there, that's fine. So here's what I'm going to put. If self dot CPU X is less than self dot X, then self dot CPU X plus 1. All right. Else if self dot CPU X is greater than self dot X, then self dot CPU X minus 1. This is just going to start following the player. All right, and that's it for my X values. Now I want to start a new block of code for the Y values, because this is a little different than checking for the input. So if self.cpuy, whoops, not u, self.cpuy is less than self.y, self.cpuy plus 1, elif self.cpuy is less than self.y, and self.cpuy minus equals 1. And I don't want this one to be less than. I said less than. I want it to be greater than. All right, and I think that should be good. Let's try to run this and see what happens. All right. So far so good. Of Of course, there's no chaser yet because I didn't put in the logic to display it. So that's the last thing I want to do. Sierra, under my draw function, I want to add this. Sierra.display.pixel self.cpux self.cpu self.cpu red self.cpu green. You can see I'm running out of space here. I can either just type it in and let it go a little longer, or I can hit enter and just tab over, and it will know that that it's still the same statement. So I can just press enter and put it in the next line down. Either way. Now run this, and you can see, alright, my red dot very quickly, my computer catches my player, right? So that's good for this quick start lesson. In the next lesson, we will add in some logic to make it a little more fun for the player, so to make the computer a little slower and have it get progressively faster and faster. And that's what we'll do next. So you can move on to the next quick start lesson whenever you're ready.